Hey y'all, I'm back to Katie's Kiss. Um, I'm ready. I got my candles lit. I'm ready. Got my pretty candles here. I had to light some candles and light some incense because I felt my energy shifting, and yeah, it was a lot that I had to deal with, and I'm still dealing with these staph infections. As maybe some of you guys may know, staph infections, typically they're contagious for like the first 24 48 hours, and then once you have a handle on them, then they typically will just wear its course and go away with the medication prescribed. But that was not the case with me. I kept getting staph infections. Those staph infections took over my body. Those the staph infections made my lip bigger, um, discolored. My lip used to drain. My lip was crusted. You would have thought that I had some crazy, I don't know, STD or something on my lip. That's how the staph infection made my lip look. So not only do I have to deal with my lip being bigger or bigger than normal, now I have to deal with an infection that won't go away, that won't leave my body. During that time, I was pregnant with my second child, my first son, 2019. And that was the most traumatic pregnancy, even though I only had two. My first one back in 2012, and then this one that I'm talking about in 2019. But that was the most traumatic pregnancy that I have endured, because I have a disorder, a disease, whatever it is, that these doctors can't figure out where it came from. So the whole 9 months, I'm thinking like, what if my baby looks like this? Or what if my baby doesn't survive? What if this infection affects my baby? What if my baby is born stillborn? What if my baby is here and doesn't live past whatever weeks because of what I'm going through, or because my blood, is inside of my baby, my son, and he's not able to be strong enough as if like I am to deal with it. All of these thoughts just went in my head. And then we're back to my kiss. We're back to when my son was born. I could not kiss my son. I could not kiss my son. And to this day, I still think about that. I couldn't kiss my other son. My other son was born in January 2020. I missed out on a lot of different things. My whole life has been an emotional roller coaster. I was angry. I've cried. I was depressed. I was battling a lot of different demons during that time. I was hiding a lot. I didn't like to go out anywhere, not even to the grocery store. I wouldn't buy anything. Like, if I had to go, I wasn't going to get it. I used to always send my husband on runs, or my mom, or my best friend, my sister, to different places to get stuff for me, because I did not want to go anywhere. I didn't want to be seen. It's crazy going from what you used to look like to now looking like this. And then I wasn't ready for the questions. I wasn't ready for the stares. I wasn't ready because my confidence at that time was low. Me going through this roller coaster affected a lot of things in my life. It made me really insecure in my relationship, as well as just overall. I went from this person who used to take selfies like, or, just being this big ball of energy, no matter where I went, taking selfies, taking pictures, always posting pictures, to now not posting anything. I used to wear a mask. Back then, of course, COVID wasn't there. So wearing a mask, people would look at you like, why is she wearing a mask? Like, what's wrong with her? She's sick? Like, it used to be that. But I didn't care. I'd rather them think that I was sick than to know exactly what was underneath my mask. And it's so crazy because now that COVID, we're in a pandemic. Now that we have to wear a mask, I don't want to wear a mask because I'm like open about it. I'm comfortable in my skin now. But back then, I wasn't. I would wear a mask every single day wherever I went, out work, school, anywhere that I went to, I had to have my mask on. I had plenty of thoughts of suicide, and this is something that I never told anybody. But I knew that my kids needed me. I knew that my babies needed me. I knew that my husband needed me. I knew that people who live with me, my mother, I knew that they needed me. So I was not strong enough to step that way and to complete it. But it takes a strong person to run away from that black cloud when it's continuously following you. I literally had my back against the wall for the last 4 years with the doctors and the misdiagnosis and them not knowing what's going on. And then I even had a different doctor. I was seeing a plastic surgeon, and he made so many promises to me. He said, you know what, we're going to do this. I've seen this before. I've seen different studies on this before. We're going to get you through. We're going to get you through before your marriage date. I was pumped. I was like, really? So I can be back to normal before I say I do? That didn't happen. And yes, I got married July 12th of 2020, but my first marriage date that we set was 2/22/20. And I actually postponed that because I was not comfortable in my skin. I was not comfortable with being seen. So I'm still going through my emotional roller coaster. I still can't kiss my kids. I'm still taking all of these medications that not only is supposed to help my lip, but this staph infection I keep getting, and nobody could understand why I was getting these infections. I did not kiss my kids for a whole year. Then I had my older kids asking me, Mommy, why can't you give me a kiss? You don't like me no more? Like, that took a toll on me. But then I had my husband. He's been riding with me since day one. Like, that man, he never left my side. He never left my side. And, most men, even women, they look at you and they be like, what the? I'm not going to stay with this person. This person, you know how it used to be, like, them little kid relationships where if a person looks a certain way, you're not going to date them or you're not going to go through with it. But that man did not leave my side. He was there every step of the way from day one up until now. He even married me. Just got married July 12th, 2020. But it was a point where I thought I wasn't even going to reach the altar because I was angry, depressed, sad. It was affecting everybody that was around me. I was constantly arguing with my husband, my fiance at the time. It put a strain on all of my relationships, as far as like my mother, myself, my best friend, my sister, my husband. But I was able to realize it, and I started seeking help. I did start seeing a counselor. And the counselor at that time, my husband, I'm laughing because I actually seen the counselor one time and then stopped going. My husband asked me, like, why didn't you go back to your other appointments? Like, why did you stop? I said, because she kept asking me questions. Like, stop asking me questions. But my husband, he was like, that's what counselors do. That's what psychiatrists do. They have to find out what's wrong with you to help you or to understand you. I said no. She wasn't listening to me. She kept asking me the same questions over and over. Like, I'm not going back. So I ended up finding a different counselor, and I was able to connect with her. You know, that's a big thing. Whenever you are seeking help, you have to have that connection with your counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist, you know, whoever you may see. There has to be that connection there. And whenever I did find a second one, I was able to feel a little bit better as far as what's been going on. You know, I missed out on a lot of stuff with maternity pictures. You know, actually, I think I did take one with my third pregnancy, because at that time it wasn't as bad. My staph infection ended up going away towards the end part of 2019. So I was able to, okay, I can adjust now. Now that that's gone, now I can see just my lip. So actually, that's when I started going public with my condition. So it's been a year since I've been public on my own social media. And I got so much love and support, you know, from them, which made me even more comfortable, you know. But at that time, I'm like, forget it. I can't keep hiding. I can't keep hiding who I am. Like, this is not me, you know. Just because my vanity is altered, I'm still the same Katie. You know, I'm still the same person 4 years ago. Mentally, I have changed. But this situation has made me even more humble. But then I always question, like, why me, God? Why me? Like, why did you pick me? I'm a good person, you know? I love people. I like to have fun. Why me? And then something clicked. And like, maybe he chose me because I am strong. I have strength that I didn't even know I had. You know, going through this, my oldest has her own medical condition. Then having 2 babies, working full time, you know, doing a business. It's like, where did this strength come from? And then something clicked. I'm like, I'm here for a purpose. This is happening for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. My reason is to get my voice out there. My reason is to help maybe touch somebody's life. For someone who may look like me or similar to me, and try to help them through. That's my purpose, and that's why I chose to do this channel. There's just been many times where I wanted to give up. As I'm talking to you, I'm trying to clear my head because I keep thinking back about not kissing my kids. And I don't know if there's any parents out there, but imagine, you know, not being able to kiss your kids for a year. And them asking, why can't you kiss me? Is it because you don't like me or you don't love me? That does something to a person's mental, you know. And I know that I have overcame it. And now I'm able to talk about it. And now that I'm able to move past it, I have so many goals now to help other people who are in my shoes or who were in my shoes and still have trouble with progressing. This is also my healing. This is my healing. This is my moment to heal, to speak my truth, to speak my peace, to speak my story. And this is why I call my YouTube channel Katie's Kiss, because it's what we take for granted. We take kissing for granted. We take hugging for granted. You know, those little things that we like to do, and being told now that you can't do it. Even now during the pandemic, like, technically we're not allowed to hug anybody. But so many of us, we want to give people hugs. Like, well, we can't do that. But imagine being told for a whole year, you can't kiss your kids. You can't kiss because of the fear of transmitting that staph infection to my babies. Because of course babies' bodies, they're not as strong as ours. But you know, I have started to overcome it. I used to always worry about my youngest son. You know, he was born as well during this whole journey of mine, and I wasn't able to breastfeed him because of the medications that I was continuously on. So I used to feel bad about that, you know, so mentally thinking like all the rest of my kids were breastfed. But here's my little boy, I can't breastfeed him because of the medication that I was on. You know, so I felt bad about that. I felt bad about not having that bond with him, you know, because he was the outsider. But you know what? I know that a lot of people have different things going on in their life. Some they're able to hide, some they are not, like myself. I wish I could have this. But when it all comes down to it, we all have a story to tell. And I'm choosing to tell my story now because I know there's somebody out there that wish that they can see or they can relate to somebody. Like during my journey, my 4 years, I wish that there was somebody that came to me and said, I have something just like you. Let's talk. Let's become friends. But I didn't have that. Everybody said, oh, I understand where you're coming from. It's going to be okay. No, it's not going to be okay. No, you don't understand. You don't understand the physical and the mental that I have went through, that I'm still going through. You don't understand that. You may have empathy, but you can't understand the life of Katie. And then still trying to be strong for my kids and my own daughter's my own daughter's medical condition. You know, my daughter has a chronic medical condition where she's going to have surgery. My daughter is 8. So imagine dealing with this, my doctor's appointments, my lab tests, my everything, and then still try to stay strong for her and going through her and wondering when and how her surgery is going to be. You know, it's a lot. And I do thank you all for watching, you know, for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Please share my story. I do have a lot more to say, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it off today. But I do love each and every one of you guys. Thank you all for the support, and thank you all for sharing. Please subscribe to Katie's Kiss.